You're not being taken for granted because people are ungrateful. You're being taken for granted because you've made yourself too available. That's hard to accept. But it explains why nothing changes. Think about your role in other people's lives. You're the reliable one, the helpful one, the one people call when they need something. You say yes. You show up. You handle things. At first, it feels good. You feel useful, needed. But over time, something shifts. People expect it. They don't ask carefully. They assume. And when you need something, they're not there in the same way. That's when the frustration starts. Quiet at first, then heavier. You begin to feel overlooked, undervalued, drained. And you ask yourself a fair question. Why do people treat me like this? Here's the uncomfortable answer. Because you trained them to. This is the hidden problem. Being taken for granted is not random. It's learned behavior. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, you send a signal. My time is flexible. My priorities can wait. Your needs come first. And people adapt to that signal. Quickly. Not because they're bad, but because people follow patterns. And you've been consistent. Here's the deeper layer. You think you're being generous. But what you're often doing is avoiding discomfort. Saying yes keeps things smooth, avoids tension, maintains approval. But it comes at a cost, because every unspoken no builds pressure. And eventually, that pressure turns into resentment. Not toward others, but toward yourself. Because you know you're crossing your own limits. This is where most people get it wrong. They believe being helpful increases their value. But value doesn't come from constant availability. It comes from clear boundaries. Without boundaries, your time feels unlimited. And anything unlimited is rarely respected. Here's the principle. If you never say no, your yes has no weight. Read that again. A yes only matters when it's a choice, not a reflex. Right now, your yes is predictable, automatic, and predictable access reduces perceived value. So the goal is not to stop being helpful. It's to become intentional. You need structure. A reset. Step 1. Stop the automatic yes. Right now, you respond too fast, before you even think. That has to change. Next time someone asks for something, pause. Say this. Let me check and get back to you. Simple. Neutral. That one sentence creates space. Space to decide. Space to think. Space to choose. And it sends a signal. Your time is not instantly available. That alone starts shifting how people see you. Step 2. Say no without explaining. This is where most people struggle. You feel the need to justify, to soften the rejection, to make it acceptable. But explanations create openings. They invite negotiation. If you say, I can't, I'm really busy, someone can respond, it won't take long. Now you're back in the conversation, defending your boundary. Instead, keep it simple. I can't do that. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available. No extra words. No added reasoning. Clear boundaries don't need explanation. They need consistency. Step 3. Let people react. This is the hardest part. When you change your behavior, people notice. Some will be surprised. Some will push. Some will feel disappointed. Let that happen. Their reaction is not a signal you did something wrong. It's a signal that the dynamic changed, and not everyone benefits from that change. People who relied on your constant yes will feel the shift the most, but that doesn't mean you go back, because going back means going back to exhaustion. Here's something important to understand. Respect and comfort don't grow at the same time. When you start setting boundaries, comfort may drop, but respect increases, and over time that respect stabilizes the relationship, or reveals that it wasn't balanced to begin with. Now let's make this practical. When someone asks for something you don't want to do, I'm going to pass on that. When you feel pressure to explain, I am not available right now. When they push again, I've already given you my answer. calm, direct, final. And if you do want to help, but on your terms, I can help with this part, but not the whole thing. That's a boundary with flexibility, not all or nothing, just controlled. Here's what will start to happen. People will think twice before asking. Not because you became difficult, but because you became clear. Your time will feel more structured. Your energy will stabilize. And most importantly, you'll start respecting your own limits, because that's where it begins. If you don't respect your time, no one else will. Let's reinforce this. Being available all the time does not make you valuable. It makes you predictable. And predictable access removes urgency. But when your time is protected, your presence becomes more intentional. And intention creates value. So try something simple. This week, say no once. Just once. No explanation, no apology, and observe what happens. Notice how it feels. Notice how others respond. That reaction is information. It shows you who respects your boundaries and who depended on your lack of them. Key takeaway: you're not being taken for granted by accident. You've been signaling that your time is always available. Change the signal, and the behavior around you will change too. If this made you rethink how you show up for others, there's a deeper layer to this. Most people don't realize how much their patterns shape how they're treated. This is just one piece. If you want to go deeper, the full framework is in the book. Because protecting your time is not selfish. It's what allows you to show up better on your terms.